Hey, what's going on, YouTube, my family and my friends? Excellent Dreams here, back with another exclusive video for you today. Let me go ahead and send out the link. Just one moment here while I send out the link. Let's see here. There we go. All right, all right. Let's see. Stephanie Newman should be joining us here shortly. Let me go ahead and open up Coreldraw. Go ahead and open up Coreldraw. All right. If you have it here, get this out the way. All right, all right. Let's go back to the first page. And this one right here was pretty slick the way I did this. You know, let's see here. Let's open up Google here. And I think I typed in Black Panther Panther animal wearing a hoodie. Yeah, that's your book, wearing a hoodie. And I'm sure I did a lot of scrolling. I'm sure I did a lot of scrolling. Switch it to the images up here. Let's scroll. That one's split. This one's split. Ooh. That was kind of dark. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome.
How's your day coming along?
It's much better this weekend.
Oh, for sure, for sure. All right, all right. Can you see my screen?
I can, absolutely.
All right. So most of all of my videos are recorded. So this will be recorded. I will be able to send you a copy. But I was working on this design here.
Okay.
As you can see, it's an image pretty much. It's a JPEG or a PNG image that I found online. And my original thought for it was sublimation. I was going to sublimate this onto a light color shirt and then add the rhinestones on top.
Okay.
Which I did in the past. Yesterday, someone said they wanted one on a black t-shirt. So, can't sublimate on dark colors. So, I have a DTF printer now. So I was able to print this out in DTF and still use the same template and place the rhinestones on top.
Okay.
As you can see, the template is pretty simple. I just traced his jacket here, traced those areas of his jacket, and I did a quick fill. And then this Black Panther up here, that was part of the TRW.
Okay.
What they're
Yeah.
called. Yeah, the templates that you get.
Yep.
So have you played around with the software at all?
I played around. I've watched a few videos here and there and played around with it, but I have actually not created much with Coreldraw or the Wizard. Just a couple of things, pretty simple here and there.
Okay.
So yeah, if you would like show me how you trace, that would be beneficial because that I don't know how to do.
Okay. Okay.
And I'll probably take some notes. Is that okay?
That's fine with me.
Okay, perfect.
All right. I'm going to open up a new document here. But we can use this one. All right. And there's a few ways to go about this. One way is to copy it, Control C, and then to paste it, Control V. All right, so now we know we have two copies, one on top of the other. Right here in the Edit tab, I like to use this nudge feature right here.
Okay.
I have my nudge set on 15. Nudge will be very helpful for you because you can do this. If I click on one and I nudge it over, boom, it's nudged directly over to the side here.
Okay.
All right. Wait a minute, let me see. Let me see something here. Oh.
You had 3 copies.
Yeah, I did. Okay. So let's just work with the original. Go back. Boom. All right, I'm gonna copy this one. My apologies.
No worries.
And then I'm gonna paste it. And then I'm gonna nudge it over. All right. So now that I have 2, I'm going to right click on this one. I'm gonna outline, trace, and clip art. So essentially, that's how you turn any picture into a vector.
Okay.
We want it to be vector. That way we can create our places, our object where we're gonna fill the rhinestones in. So we hit clip art and let it do its magic. And we got that, which isn't bad, but I want to cut up the detail just a little bit to see if I can get this this piece of his jacket right here back in. So let me turn up the detail. All right, it gave me a piece of it, and that's okay. I'm gonna hit okay here. Also on this screen, do you use this screen at all? Have you used the outline?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Nope.
So the way I have mine set up is you want to have it click, check, delete original image, and remove background.
Okay.
It's going to essentially, for the most part, remove your white background and just give you a transparent background.
Okay.
I said okay. All right. So that's what we got. Not bad, not bad. Let's right click on it and ungroup our object. So essentially what we just did is every little piece that you see is an object. Let me show you. So that's an object. This whole shade right here is an object. All right. Now, essentially from here, what we want to do is we want to weld our objects together. Like right here, you see that there are different colors here.
Yep.
We're going to weld those together. So I'm going to click on one. I'm going to hold shift, click on that one, that one, that one. And I'm going to end off with this one. So I'm still holding shift and I'm going to click on this one last. Boom. That way, when I right click and I combine it all together, it combines all of those colors into one.
So combined as weld?
Combine is almost like I would like to say it's a mid weld. It combines the objects together, but you would still want to weld after. But I find out that when you're combining or trying to weld a lot of objects together, it's better to combine and then weld.
Okay.
Because for some reason, whenever I was welding, I weld this, then I weld that, then I weld this, then I weld that. For some reason, like after the 8th one, it does some weird thing. It does something weird. So I like to combine. I always, once I figured it out that combine works better, I use combine first. So I'm gonna combine these two, and then I'm gonna weld it all together. Boom.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So now essentially this whole half of his jacket right here is missing, right? Um, when I first got started, I used to just use the square, and I would start right here on the edge, and I would just draw a square here to pretty much close in this area. Let me go back to my pick tool. And you want to make sure that there's no leakage. There's no open areas where right here. See, that's broken right there. We want to close that. So I'm going to double click. The nodes pop up, as you can see there. And I'm just going to drag this node here to touch. There. That essentially closed off that area. So now we can use our Smart Fill tool, which is located all the way on the left at the bottom. You're going to use the Smart Fill tool a lot because it allows you to fill in those areas.
Okay.
All right. After you use the Smart Fill tool, though, you want to go back to the pick tool. So now we're just going to, I like to deselect. I like to zoom out. I like to reprocess my thinking. What do I want to do next? All right. So I want to combine these two, and maybe this one down here too. So I'm gonna click on that one first, hold shift. I'm gonna continue to hold shift, and I'm gonna click on this one as well. Right click, combine, and then weld. All right. Now, essentially, we can click on this one, hold shift, click on this side, and just go ahead and combine and weld those together as well. So now that's all one piece right there. All right.
Got it.
We're halfway there. Believe it or not, that was kind of fast, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And I think for me, it's just knowing how to do it because it does look like it'll go pretty quickly.
Yes. Once you get the process down and you start to have your own workflow, you'll start to see that there's multiple ways to do things. And it's all regarding how your mind processes. Because there's 1,000 ways. I'm not trying to scare you, but there's 1,000 ways to do things in here.
Sure.
Like right here, that's the wireframe view, and then you can go back to enhanced view. So they have that as a quick button inside the design wizard, but it's also over here in Coreldraw. We have the front selection to the front or selection back here. In Coreldraw, you got to right click, then you got to change the order.
Gotcha.
That's a quick feature right there, to the front, to the back. I use that a lot. Let's get rid of this square. We no longer need this anymore because we only use that to close off that area. But so now it's pretty much set. If we wanted to, we can click on it. I thought I welded those two. Let me do it again. Click on this one. Combine. I could have swore I welded them already.
I thought you did too.
Let me see here. Okay. What's that right there? That's wireframe that. So what I did was I just clicked on it and I nudged it out. That nudge feature is really helpful. What I used to do was I would drag it out. And then to get it back, I would have to Control Z it. But if I nudged it out, then I can wireframe it, see, okay, I didn't need that piece. That was just a duplicate, and I can delete it. Go back to our enhanced view. Now, there we go. Let's change the color, make sure we got it. Okay, there it is. Now, essentially, I could, but that's just me, and that's just my thought process. I could combine the rest of these pieces where the jacket goes up under the arm, like essentially, I guess, like right here, maybe just this piece. Combine that. But now, to me, it looks sort of weird, like, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
So I like to just visually play around with the software to go by what I see. So right here, we know we want that piece separated as well, right? Let's take this tool right here. We can use any one of these tools in here. It's the freehand tool. Also the 2-point line, the bezier, the pen, the B-spline, polyline, and the 3-point curve. I'm just going to use a 2-point line. Boom. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to start right here on the edge, and I'm just going to make a straight line down to here. Boom. And I'm going to start on the other edge and just do another straight line down. Now, what you think I'm about to do?
I'm assuming you're going to join those, but I'm not 100% sure.
All right. I created this area right here.
So it goes on down?
Yes. So that I can smart fill it. Boom. And now, I'll go back to my pick tool. And I'm going to shift, select this area here. And I'm going to combine those two areas together and weld them. And now I'm about to get rid of the lines that I made. I only made those lines so that I can smart fill that area.
Okay.
Boom. Delete that. Now I can smart fill this pink area here. Boom. And go back to the pick tool. Every time you use the smart fill tool, you want to go immediately back to the pick tool, or
Okay.
you're just gonna you click it like that, and you'd be like, oh my God, what happened? You want to deselect that tool, go back to the pick tool. Once you do that though, that area is still selected, which is kind of convenient. We're going to use this area right here that we just created to essentially trim this pink area beneath it. So I deselect. I like the wool side for a second. Okay, what do I want to do? I want to click on this area, hold shift, click on the pink area, and then we're going to use our trim feature here. Trim that area out. So now what we're left with is that area by itself. And now we can hold shift and let's combine that area to this tan area here. So there we go. So now we have his jacket, 2 pieces. We have our sleeves here. I'm just going to click on it. I'm going to place and fill. I'm going to hatch fill it real quick. I'm going to clear the paths, merge overlapping stone. Of course, let me change the stone color here so we can see it. Because the stone color was pink. Change the stone color to blue. Boom. Not bad.
Okay, so hatch fill just a way the stones are laying? Is that what that is?
Yes.
It's just how it's going to fill them. Okay.
Yes. Left to right typewriter style. So
okay.
They'll fill the area up left to right, left to right. So I'm going to, are you familiar with these 3 buttons here? You'll use these a lot.
No, I have not played with those yet. I don't think. What are their functions?
You'll use them a lot. Watch this.
Okay.
All right. So the first one. Okay. Also, inside the design wizard, everything that you hover over down here at the bottom, it will tell you its function. So if we hover over this one, it says left click, same size, right click, invert. So if we click on here and we left click it, so we click one stone and then we left click here, it selected all of the stones that were the same size.
Okay.
All right. This button in the center is same color. So of course, if we click here, when we hit that button, it's going to select all the stones again because they're the only color that's purple.
Yeah.
All right. Now, had this little piece right here been purple as well, or cobalt, then when I hit here and hit that button, it's going to select everything that's cobalt on the screen.
Okay.
So it's not just for rhinestones. It's also for choosing whatever color is on the screen.
Okay.
This last one is select same size and color. So we know all of these cobalt stones are the same size and color. So if we click that and then click that, it's just going to select all those stones. But let's just say if we clicked here and we hit same size and color, nothing happened, because that piece right here is the only piece in this design that's the same size and color. All right. They are going to be very, very helpful for you. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to select all of the same size. And then what you want to do when you do that though, so let me just show you. Coreldraw is grayed out right now. See up here in the top left how it's grayed out? That's because we're currently, our last thing that we selected was something in the design wizard. If we try to hit delete, nothing happens. That's because we haven't activated Coreldraw back again. So if we click in this white work area, you'll deselect the stones, and you don't want to do that because you're trying to delete them. So if we click here, select all of the same size, and right after you select the same size or any one of these three buttons, you want to click here, watch Coreldraw turn green. Now it's back active, and now we can simply hit delete. Took me the longest to figure that part out. I was like, why isn't it working for me? And then
that's good.
Yeah. So you can click anywhere up here in this area, just not below the ruler.
Right. Okay.
All right. So after filling that area with rhinestones, I think if we select all of this area here, we're going to hold shift and select all of this area here. We're going to hold shift again, select the pink. We're going to right click and combine all that together and then weld it. Because I think when we hatch fill it now, it will look better.
Yeah, probably.
All right, that's me showing one way. I said there's 1,000 different ways, right?
Sure.
I just want to see what they look like if we nudge all of those stones back over. So I just selected them all, edit, go back to my edit tab and nudge them over. Aha. Let's turn them to tan. And if we wanted to get fancy, so say we're going to print this out in sublimation, and we're like, I don't really like this right here. We just go in there and delete those few stones that's in the curved area.
Yeah. And that's just selecting and delete, right?
Yep. I'm just clicking on them and hitting delete as I go.
Perfect.
Boom. All right. I'm going to take these and I'm going to nudge them over. Let me nudge them over again. Get them a little farther out of my way. All right. So that was, so essentially when I first got started, I was like, oh, the easiest way to do any picture, any image is to, let me show you. So when I first got started, I went on a manhunt for SVG files. Went on a manhunt for all the different types of themes that I can think of just SVG files and images that I wanted to rhinestone, you know. So I have an extensive collection of, like, here's a Greek key circle. 0 fucks given, you know. Fucks given. I was like, oh, that'd be nice to put into a rhinestone template. And I did, and I put them on my Etsy, and they're selling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's see here. So you want to go to Google. This is the easiest way until you really, really hone in your skills, and then you're able to sit there and you're like, okay, I'm gonna start off with a heart. I'm gonna add in some flowers, you know, and create your design. So let's just say I'm gonna just type in panda holding a heart, and you want to type in SVG, or you can also type in vector. So SVG gave us those images, which they all look great. If we type in vector, let's see what happens. It gives us similar images. But for some reason, I like it when I use SVG better because it's a scalable vector graphic. All right, all right. Let's say this cute little panda right here. Boom. Oh, he's so cute. We're gonna right click on him. We're gonna save that image.
Okay.
All right, and I like to rename it so that way it's easy to find. So I can just type in panda in my search up here. Type it right in. Boom. But it downloaded to my downloads here. So I'm just gonna minimize this screen. And I can pull, I can pull my downloads up here. And I can just drag that right into Coreldraw over here.
Okay.
Hey, little fella. And actually, I'm going to copy him. Now, let's start a new document. Let's get us a fresh page here. And I'm gonna paste him over here. Now, you can press P, replace any object or all objects to the center of the page.
And that was just P, you said?
That was just P.
Okay.
I'm gonna right click on this fella. So you're gonna do this. This is gonna be your main thing when you get started, is right click, outline trace, and clip part, because we need this fella to actually be a vector. There we go. As you can see, it turned the pixelated image into a vector over here.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure, we lost some detail. Let's turn the detail up, get that detail back if we can. But sometimes turning the detail up gives it too much detail, which makes the image even harder to work with. So I like to cancel, right click, outline trace, and try it again. And I'm gonna work with what they gave me here because it's clean, and it didn't, when I turned the detail up, it gave me a lot of extra pieces that I didn't want. All right, let's hit OK. We got to right click and ungroup all the objects. All right, right here, I like to typically go to my wireframe, make sure that the outline box is still not there, the picture image box.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we're working with a transparent image. Everything is ready to go. Yep. So this is where we have fun. So let's see here. If I click right here on this white, and I click right here on the middle to select all of the same color, I'm going to select all of the white in the image. I'm going to change all the white to pink. Okay. So I know I got all my white, and it wasn't like a off-white somewhere in there that was a different shade of white. All right. I'm going to, though, undo the last process because I want his eyes to be white, and maybe I can change his skin color, his fur color, as I please. So I'm going to click on this white, hold shift, click on this white, continue to hold shift because I'm trying to select them all. Shift is the button that you use when you're trying to select multiple objects at once. Hold shift, click there, and click there. I like to, just for my own personal reference, I like to change the color immediately. Okay, I got all the color that I wanted. Right click, combine, and then weld. So we got his eyes. Bada boom, bada bing. Now I'm gonna select the white, select all of the white. I'm gonna just change it to cream. That way I can see it. right click, combine that together, weld it together. So now it's coming along, it's coming along. I want this part of his eye to be different than his ears. So I'm going to click here, hold shift, click here, right click, and I'm gonna combine and then weld those together. And actually I'm gonna change it to my black, my Cosmo black here. All right, so now we know we got the eyes welded, we know we got all the white welded. Our ears, let's just do them real quick. Select one, hold shift, select the other, and I'm going to just weld those right off the bat. Simple welds like that can easily be accomplished. When you're trying to do multiple, I would say more than 3, you know, and they're all over the place, down here, up there, up there. You want to combine and weld in that regard. So as long as I've been using the software, I was welding. One day weld was giving me such a problem. It was not welding like it was supposed to. And I was like, I'm gonna try combine and then weld. And that solved all my problems.
That makes sense.
All right, let's see here. Let's see if we want to change his fingertips. I'm just selecting them all here. And let's change it. I like to just change to any color and weld them. Boom. Okay. Now we have an outline around the heart. If we click here, we see that that's only that bottom half. Let's hold shift and get the top half as well. Let's weld them together. Boom. And I'm going to change it to give it a black outline. That looks better. Let's change this. Let's see if it looks good. Cream. Okay. Bada boom, bada bing. There's a little gray area here. We have not welded all the gray together yet. So let's select all the same color and weld it. Boom. So I think we have everything. Let's see here. This is where I really like to use my nudge feature. Because there go one. We know the heart is by itself. Boom. You know the eyes. Boom. We know we got this part. Boom. Okay. Oh, we got the hands. Notice that over. We got his head. All right. So this is the only part that's not together. I'm gonna select all of that same color. Okay. I want to change his ears. I don't want his ears to be grouped with that. So I'm gonna change his ears real quick. Come back down here, click here, and select all of the same color here. Boom. But then it got his eyes, the gray in his eyes and his nose. I like to let me group those together. This little black right here in his eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and hold shift and weld. We're gonna weld this part and this part too. Those are like little cheek dimples, I guess. Weld those. All right. Now his nose, I believe, can stay that color. His nose can match with the rest of his body. All right, and let's just give him a boom. Right click, combine, and weld. All right. I'm gonna just select all of this and then nudge it back over. So now we have our cute little fella here. This little nose piece right here. I'm gonna click that, hold shift, and I'm gonna just weld it to this part right here. We'll combine first and then weld. It looks a little jank, a little wonky right here, right? We're gonna double click here. We're gonna just get rid of those nodes by highlighting them and deleting them. What happened though, as you can see, is now we left this gap here. I'm going to push this to the front. All right.
Okay.
And to fill up those gaps, what you think we're about to do?
Smart fill.
Smart fill those areas. Boom. And boom. Now that we smart filled them, and we still got the smart fill selection tool We can easily come right over here, select all of the same color, weld it together, hold shift, and then weld it to that. Look. Well, no, wrong part, my bad. We wanted to, let's go back, deselect, woosah for a second. Let me zoom in, and I wanted this area to combine with this area. So let's combine them. There we go. And then weld. All right, so now we're practically ready. I mean, his mouth does look a little janky, and we can fix that by, we're going to just delete this part altogether. That way we can straighten this little part up right here. And we do that by simply double clicking. We're going to drag this area into this area like so. So they're going to overlap. Once they see them overlap, let's weld them together. All right. So now we got it to where they're consistent. I'm going to double click here and let's see what happens if I get rid of this one node here. Let's delete that. All right. Now down here, we can try that again. First, I like to deselect, select the white, woosah for a second, and let's zoom in and do it. Double click. Let's see if we can move this node here. If we move it, then we can straighten it out. We don't have to overlap it and get it together. It was already together. So let's just delete all of those. Aha. Okay. Move. Right here. Let's see. We zoom in here. Let's see. We grab this node here. What happened? Okay. Aha. That's perfect. That's what we wanted. So let's grab it again. And let's move it down a little bit. If we want it to be smooth, a smooth connection, we're going to drag it all the way down here. And you can play with these arrows to turn the direction. Okay. I'm going to turn that here like so. We can even drag this out. Uh-oh. Grab it and drag it like up here. And then like make this just a little thicker. Boom. Looks good to me. All right. Now what I can do is I can smart fill this area here to get rid of that gap. But I can also just delete this whole area. Just smart fill the whole area. Boom. Now it's solid. Let's change it to cream. And as you can see, when you use the smart fill tool, well, you can't see it right here. Let's push it to the front. Whenever you use the smart fill tool, it comes up with this outline here. You just want to right click on this X to get rid of that outline. Let me show you again. When you use the smart fill tool, as soon as you use it, it should have been there. Let's push it to the front. We can't see it for whatever reason. We can't see it, but it's always there. So whenever you use the smart fill, I like to right click on this X to get rid of that outline that was on there. All right. So that's what I like to do when you first get started. After you chose, oh, that's a cute little teddy bear. I'm a rhinestone that, and I'm gonna say, we care bear or whatever, you know. Yeah. I'm going to size him up now. So right here is the size dimensions, not to be confused with the X and Y coordinates. Okay. All right. We're gonna just resize this fella. Go on the shirt. I know he looks wonky now. I like to, that's just my method. I like to change my colors just so I can see it visually. Yeah. So now I'm like, maybe his nose matching his skin wasn't cool. So I'm gonna click here. All right. We just redid his nose. Now we can double click right here. Since we know that bottom, the other piece of the nose is part of this skin of his fur, we double clicked it. See all the nodes pop up, even the nodes up here. we're going to highlight those nodes and just delete them. So now we just deleted that part of the nose that was still connected. Let me go back.
Okay.
I don't want to be moving too fast. I don't want to lose you. So
you're good.
All right, let's nudge this out. All of that is together.
Yep.
If we smart fill it, boom. And what's cool is it's still selected here, right? We can still see it. If we push it to the back, we know we still got that smart fill area selected. Yep. We can hold shift now, click here, and then trim out that area of the nose using that smart fill.
Okay. So now that won't be behind it anymore.
Right. It's gone.
Okay.
We just created a whole new color nose. We're going to nudge that back in and let's make it that color. That's great.
So trim essentially
gets a cookie cutter.
Up. Yeah. Okay.
I think I'm going to go ahead and shift and combine. There we go. See what happened down? Oh, no. Okay. Huh. Let's change him. Oh, he was white at first. Okay. All right. Now let's give him like blue ears, maybe. It was area down here for his feet. Mm-hmm. And we didn't smart fill those. You see it?
Yep.
Let's select all of that color and change that to blue too. Okay. Now it's looking better. We're gonna change this and give him blue eyes too. And I guess this part right here needs to be, oh no, wrong. This part needs to be white. And this part needs to be blue. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's fill his mouth back in. Use the smart fill tool. Change it to red. We're gonna right click. Get rid of that outline. Okay. Okay, now he looks a little cozy, a little cuddly, a lot more cuddly. All right, so now we're just gonna click here, place and fill. All right, so when it comes to placing the rhinestones, I, for the most part, leave it like this. It was first 0.14, I believe, right here for fill line spacing. But you can click on this A here for automatic, and I think automatic works a lot better.
Okay.
All right. The spacing is at 0.02. Sometimes, depending on if they visually look too close, I might change that to a 0.4. I go up a little bit. That way they'll be spaced out a little more. So let's just hatch fill it. Clear the paths. And merge overlapping stones. It's always a 3-part. Whenever you use any one of these 4 fills, it's always hatch fill, clear the paths, which is here.
Okay.
And then merge overlapping stones, which is this
one. Okay.
Let's change his cute little cuddly color to yellow. All right, now, not bad. Actually, let me change it to like a green so I can see it even better. All right, so for the most part, hatch fill, I love it because it fills in the areas so beautifully. It makes it just look pristine already. There's a few areas here where you can fix these gaps here.
Now, to do that, would you just copy some stones and put them in those gaps? Is that what you would do?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, we could, like, but the Rhinestone Wizard is so intuitive. I would click here. I would hold shift, click here, 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 here. I'll just probably get that whole row across, right? Now we got all those stones selected. And then let's equal space them right here.
Okay.
And then add a stone, add a stone, add a stone, add a stone. Shift. Okay. You want to always shift and clear the path here to get rid of that black line. And then let's deselect those green stones. I'm going to hold control. Control
Okay.
allows you to move objects up and down on the same axis, so the same X axis or Y axis. I'm sorry. And we're gonna just put that right here. Boom. We're gonna do the same with this one. Nudge them in here, and the same with this one. Nudge them in here, and maybe even this one. Yep.
And you just did again, control.
Just held control and dragged it right up.
Okay.
So now we just fix that little area right there. If you're OCD like me and you're like,
yeah, I was gonna say I am too. I see others.
right. But I'm like, I like it, but I feel like I can give it some room here. So I'm gonna select these 3 stones. I'm gonna equal space. And doing that though, now you got to do all the ones near it.
Right.
To get it to visually look right.
Yeah.
Now sometimes I go above and beyond. Then other times I'm like, okay, no, it does look perfect, like, you know, and most times the customer will be happy, like, you know what I mean? The customer is not quite as OCD as the artist, which we are the artists and we want to have every piece pristine, but there will be times where you're like, man, oh, okay, yeah, it looks good. Okay, I'm gonna fix this area right here. Boom. But getting into fixing this area right here is like, do I really need to? Because now you're gonna have to drag these stones up and then equal space all of this. And then that's going to start looking weird because they're not going to be left to right, left to right, left to right. So sometimes I just choose my battles and say, okay, nope, that looks good. Let me at least just fix this part right here to his mouth. Let's start right here. I'll start right there and just go across. Let me deselect because I feel like another stone can fit right here, which it can. What I just did there is I dragged. Let me save it. You want to always remember to save your work. Save your work, because at any given time, these software applications can overwork themselves and shut down.
Yeah.
Panda with heart. So now we got that one in there, right there. We're just going to equal space that little row there.
So you select them all, okay.
Then
equal space. Yeah, okay.
Let's add a stone. That doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna shift and clear the line, clear the path.
Okay.
So a lot of it is I mean, we're still in the basics, but a lot of the rhinestone creation is finding and or designing your own images. Or, you know, and I'm sorry, lost my train of thought. Finding and or designing your own images, bringing them into Coreldraw, clip arting them by vectorizing them, separating your colors, and then deciding whether you want to do, let me delete all of these, whether you want to do a hatch fill, that's my favorite, or whether you want to do an island fill. If we island fill this guy and it's on one, let's clear the path, merge overlapping stones, it's only going to give him an outline or one island around him. Let me select all of those and delete them again.
So that might be more appropriate if you are doing where maybe you want to do wording and you just want the wording outline. That would be like the island field.
Perfect. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So if we turn this to 0 though, we click on it and then we do island fill. It's going to fill it up completely. But for some reason, me personally, I didn't like how it looked. Let's shift. Let's clear the path, then merge overlapping stones. I'm gonna just change the color just so we can try to get a
Kind
visual.
of looks like a raccoon now.
Yeah, but you see out from where
Yeah.
it tried to do the curves on the mouth, tried to do the curves on the eyes. The stones just don't like line up. This doing it this way is a lot more work, you know.
Yeah.
You know, they doubled up right here. You got to fix up that line. So once again, if you're like me, some designs you like, no, yeah, it has to follow that curve. I'm going to spend an hour and a half and I'm going to fix it, you know? Or you'll be like, no, I'm just going to do the hatch fill and let that be that. So it gives you a great the design wizard gives you a great thing to start with. Like, and it works perfect on like little pieces like the ears. We did island fill on the ears, clear the path, merge overlapping stones. Let me change them to pink. See?
Yeah.
Got it pretty good. You know, maybe
Right.
we have to, you know, equal space this row so the stones are not touching. You know, I would just start from down here up to just that one and equal space it. Gave me a little space right there between those two.
Yeah.
I would probably zoom in here, see if I can get one there.
And how did you do that?
With to zoom, I just use my scroll on my mouse.
Yeah. Did you like how'd you get the extra stone?
Oh, okay. So we grab one and we right click before we let go of the left click.
Okay. Okay.
We can also grab one and now we can turn it into a stamp by pressing space bar.
Oh, okay.
And then when you let go of the last one, it's there.
Okay.
When I first got started, you know, I control C'd it, then
Yeah.
control V'd it, and then just move the other one out. Like, okay, I got me one. But as I learned those little shortcuts, the right click, it's kind of fast. We also have down here in the design wizard this little button here, which if you click that, now you can drop them one at a time
Okay.
by just clicking. But you want to remember to declick it, deselect it, or you're going to be
right.
all right. So let me get rid of all these yellow stones.
Okay.
Because I decided that the hatch fill was better. Path fill. All right. For path fill, best way I can show you with path fill is like with text. We typed out panda. Let me make it thicker by using the impact font here. I got to make a copy of it. All right. We got our text typed out. Now we still want to remember to weld it. All right. If we do island fill, you know, well, that filled it all the way up because I still have it on 0. But it works perfect for blocky text and even script fonts as well. Thick, bold script fonts. We put this on 1 when we do an island fill, it works perfect. Clear the path, merge overlapping stone. When I first got started, I was doing people's names left and right, you know, $35 shirt.
Right.
But if we do path fill, it's just going to fill the path and get rid of the get rid of the black. Let's clear the paths, merge overlapping stone. So now that's ready to go as well. I liked it when I first got started because I was like, oh, I got the name, it's ready to cut out, ready to go. Hurrah, hurrah. But as I got better, I'm just undoing it.
Oh, okay.
Give me my panda back. Okay, there we go. As I got better, I learned that it's better to just put an outline on this. So let's go to the outside. Let's keep it on
Okay.
one island. No stones, so let's deselect the stones and let's do island fill here. We're gonna change it to pink. You see that outline that popped up?
So kind of like a, yeah, okay.
I'm gonna right click that outline. Okay. I like it, but it's kind of thin. So I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna click on Panda again. And instead of it being 0.075, let's go to 0.1. And then let's do our island fill. It's even thicker.
Yep.
I like it, but let's go to 0.15. So I like to go up in increments, sometimes by 2, sometimes by 5, but that lets me know like where I don't get too far off. And that's great. Let's change the color and let's right click and get rid of that outline. All right, so now we have our panda with the outline. But we also, as you can see, the panda, all it did was create another object,
Offset.
1.5 up under it. So we got to cookie cut it. Click on the panda, hold shift, click on the pink, and let's trim it. So now what that gave us is this.
Okay.
Right. So now we have our outline, which can be glitter, which could be foil, which can be regular vinyl. Then we can do our, let's change our contour back to 0.075. Inside, add stones. This magic pad button right here, you can play around with it all day long. I don't think it really matters whether it's clicked or not. I don't see a difference. Okay. Let's hit island fill. Clear the path, merge overlapping stones, and I'm gonna change those to yellow so we can see it.
And you highlighted the word panda, not the offset, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
I highlighted the word panda. Okay. Remember, I clicked it back and changed it back to the inside.
Okay.
So that's ready to go. Like, text was so easy for me. And my first 40 or 50 names that I did, I just, however it gave it to me, I was so happy to be doing rhinestones. I printed it. I mean, I cut out the rhinestone flock just like this. As I got better, I was like, oh no, I can fix that in.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do it even better. I'm gonna right click this panda. I'm gonna lock this object here. So I'll lock that text. So now I can go in there with my pick tool from here and select that whole row. I'm gonna select this whole row here. See, I left that one stone there so that I can easily recreate my line. Get rid of this whole row here. Boom. Trust me, deleting stones and just creating whole new rows will be a lot faster than trying to select each one in equal spacing.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we have a dot here, a dot here, dot here, and a dot here. Let's jump over to our edit tab.
Okay.
We're going to select one, hold shift, select the other one. We're going to use this fill between two here.
Okay.
It fills up our whole row. But sometimes using fill between two, I feel like they have them too close together. So we can still minus one stone here. And we can also shift and clear the path. So it works just like the replace stones to make the spacing equal button, but it's located inside of the edit tab, which I feel like it should be located inside here, inside the place and fill tab, but they have it in the edit tab. Fill between two.
It did. Fill between two. Okay.
Yep. Click one.
And that's if you have a whole row that you want to do.
For sure. And if they're it's just going to, let me see here, grab one. Oop. I thought I grabbed it. Oop. Now, even if they're diagonal, like so, It's just going to create a row, a straight row of stones directly between them. So I like using that feature versus doing this is the long way. You hold, boom, and then equal space. It's going to put the line there and then add a stone, add a stone, add a stone, add a stone, add a stone. Keep adding the stones like that. That's just, I did that for years before I found the fill between two buttons. Oh, what's this? And of course, I'll probably get rid of these two. Get rid of these two. So looks a lot cleaner, a lot nicer.
Yep.
But my first 50 customers, they didn't care. They were happy they had their name in Rhinestones and didn't even notice the little imperfection right there.
No, right.
All right. Also, let me go ahead and make him gray. Let's get these areas right here. Let's smart fill those areas and just fill in the rest of his body. I don't know why they did it like that. Select all the same color. Hold shift. Let's combine it and weld. There you go, fella. I'm gonna jump to the place and fill, hatch fill them again, clear the path, and merge overlapping stones. Let's change it to yellow. Now I did all of that. I clicked all of those buttons and the design wizard is still running. It should have captured all of that and it's going to change the stones to yellow. And now deselect. So that's pretty slick. That's pretty slick.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might put this on my Etsy because it's done already.
Yeah.
I did fix this line here. And then remember we did a quick between those three. Then between those three, equal space. And here.
Okay.
Equal space. And I might even start from here. So see, when you place one stone between two stones, it almost gives it the honeycomb effect. So now you're able to like place one more stone in there and it still isn't touching the other stones. And I might just drag him up just a hair. Looking good, looking good.
Yeah.
Fix this part right here. I'm hold control and slide this one over. And I'm just hold control and slide this one over. I think it needs one more stone right there. It looked weird without it. We did fix his mouth. I'm not going to worry about that again right now. But for the heart. So when it comes to using the island fill, sometimes the island fill works. Let me change the color to pink. Click on the heart. Let's do 0 islands. Island fill. Let's clear the path and merge overlapping stones. Now, if the hands were not holding the heart, then we wouldn't have got these areas right here. We would have got a clean heart, you know, but because of those areas right there, the design wizard wants to take in. I mean, it's still not bad. It actually looks like he's actually squeezing it in a way to where the stones look like they ripple out. So I guess it wouldn't be so bad, but then I still don't like the gaps right here. That's just me personally. When I first got started, I didn't even notice those gaps. You know, I was so happy, like, oh, it looks so good. I'm about to cut this out. I'm about to make a Panda Rhinestone shirt. And I did. And the stones shine so bright, you know, ting, 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 ting. You don't even see that until you're on your 90th shirt and you're like, no, I want to be better. I want it to look so good that, you know, let me try it with a hatch fill. Clear the path, merge overlapping stones. And it's a cleaner left to right for the heart, even though we got to fix this curved area up here.
Yeah, but it's not right in the middle. That's the nice thing.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're going to have an imperfection, you don't want it in the middle.
Right. And it's still not bad.
No.
I still like it. But what I do right here for curved areas, since I like to use the hatch fill a lot, is I just trick the visual. I grab one and I place it right here in between those two, right on the edge. And even if this was vinyl, that stone right there on the edge, touching that vinyl will still last wash after wash, because 97% of the stone will be touching the fabric. I'll place it right there, and I'll place another one like right here, and I create the illusion. Well, it'll actually be a curve, but when you grab those three, it gives it that curve just a little bit. Where when we zoom back out, it's curved right there, and I like it.
Yep.
I'll do the same thing with this side. I'll grab one and I'll put them down in here like so. I like to hold control most times for this part. That way the other one is in the exact same place on the other side. Leave that one in the middle because we dragged these two down already. So now let's shift, click, and replace the stones to make the spacing equal and add like 3 more stones. That looks good. Shift and clear the path.
Yep.
Like, and I would probably right here. Yep. I'll probably just drag this one stone up and just place them right in there like so. But my OCD is like, Now I would shift and I'll probably go 10 stones in this way just to close like that gap there. Equal space. Shift and clear the path. And then deselect. And then start it again, do it again from this side. Go in about 10 stones. I used to go all the way across. And then I started realizing that wasn't needed. It's still gonna look good, but I would go all the way across to the edge because I was like, oh yeah, I want them all to be equal space. But it looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks really good.
Right here, I would probably
pick another one.
Place one right here. Place another one right here. And now I'm gonna use the space between like these 6. So I'm gonna click on this one, hold shift, and click on the rest of the ones in that row and equal space it. Gave me room there.
Yep.
Do it again here. They're gonna be a little tight, but it's gonna look better than that gap. And I'll go like 5 across. Or 6. All right, and shift and clear the path. Looking good, looking good.
It's really good.
Now probably down here, I'll probably move this one over. Hold control so that the other one is in the exact same spot on the other side and place it right there. Now that, to me, is ready.
Yeah, that looks really good.
That looks, oh man. And I'm not even a panda guy, you know, but somebody out there might love pandas and they'll see this design and they'll be like, oh, I need that. And they'll download it and they can make as many panda shirts as they like to. So that's what I like about just being able to share my creativity with others. And they don't necessarily have to learn how to design. Like, you know, it pays my bills, you know.
That's right. There you go.
But it also helps others in a way that I did not have that help when I first got started, you know?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you offering these. So basically to add rhinestones, you just need to get the image, convert it to vector, and then identify where do you want your rhinestones, and then hatch fill that region that you're looking to rhinestone.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
It gets deeper.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Yeah. We're almost about out of time here, but I want to show you real quick the other way, because I jumped past it when I was after we went from the image and then we went to the scalable vector graphics. Because this right here, this is a little intermediate here, you know, taking an image and actually creating our rhinestone objects. But that was pretty cool how we did that, right? So how I did this one though. How I did this one. I did this one years ago. So I didn't even think of using the process that I just showed you.
Okay.
I was here with it. I was like, oh, I had just learned how to do this, and I was like, oh, I think it'd be good if I grab this tool here. I can't remember if it's the B-spline or the polyline. I'll know when I start using it. So let me try the B-spline first. I'm gonna start right here, and I'm gonna just click. Click. Oh yeah, B-spline. See how it curves as it goes? And I just came down, click, click, click on the edge. It's gonna be straight here. Click here. And it wants to curve right here on me, but if I make another click here, I can get a cleaner curve there. On up, I'm just tracing this area here, and then let me get a little closer, and then click here. Boom. I can change that to pink. Boom. There go. Let me right click this X to get rid of the outline.
Okay.
So we got that area. I would, because it looks symmetrical, I would just grab it, drag it, right click, and then flip it here.
Flip it.
Let's see if it'll match.
It's pretty close.
Pretty close. You know, that's not bad, but of course, I would have just B-splined it.
And then do you combine them when you get done here?
Yep.
Okay.
I wanted it to be like a 2-color jacket. When I seen it and I had the idea, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta split that, and that's where the stones are going. So the more and more you design, you're going to be like, oh, I see where the stones go already. Let's do this.
Right.
Got a little off up here. So I'm just going to make it pink. Right click here. We're going to weld it. Then we're going to double click on it, and let's add a node here. By double clicking, added a node, and I'm going to just stretch it out just a little bit. All right, get rid of this node here. That looks good. And even right here, I can grab this node and drag it there. Perfect. Go back to my selection tool, hold shift, select the other part, weld it, and place and fill, hatch fill, clear the pad, merge overlapping stones, and we bing bong.
Okay. So B-spline is another way to do that. Okay.
Yes, yes. So the B-spline, it pretty much, we didn't have to copy the image, we didn't have to merge the colors together, but I had to show you that way because that's the traditional way that I do it.
Sure.
This right here was a way. Let me open my and push that to the back. That way we can see ourselves. Oh, that was the Black Panther part up there, which I doubled and tripled this up, as you can see. So this is I was designing for sublimation, so don't pay attention to the line going through the vinyl, because we're cutting the vinyl out separate, you know. So we'll highlight all of this vinyl and send it to our cutter here. Vinyl overcut, and then the boom, there's our color that we'll cut out in vinyl. And then we'll print out the image. So this is it's a lot simpler than people think.
Yeah.
Cut out our vinyl part, print out our image, cut out our rhinestone part here, and just place the rhinestones on top of the sublimation.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's cool. I like it.
I love it.
This is great.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And I appreciate your time. Oh my gosh. I learned so much in that hour and 15 minutes. That's great.
It's a lot. I've seen people's videos on Cricut, and the little hack, or not even Cricut. My apologies. Silhouette Studio. Silhouette Studio, it does do rhinestones, but I don't think it does rhinestones as quick and efficient and as visual to where I don't know. It's a lot of break apart this, do the path this, and as I was trying to learn it, I was like, I couldn't quite grasp it. Like, you know what I mean? And I was like,
Yeah.
Seemed like a lot. But with this, I was able to jump right in and whatever I can think of, like play around with it more. Like hover over these tools and be like, okay, pick tool. Hover over the next one and be like, oh, shape tool. Okay. The crop tool. I've never used the crop tool. I use the shape tool. The shape tool automatically comes up when you double click. When we double click here, it jumps right to the shape tool. So now these nodes here, we're actually just moving these nodes,
right?
You know, using our mouse. So I've never really went in there and because I'm doing it visually. The next one, crop, I've never used that, but I guess I could, but why if the images are mostly going to be transparent after we clip art them?
Right.
Zoom. Yeah. I don't use that because I zoom forward and back with my mouse. B-spline tool. This little section right here will be your friend after you learn how to use them. Play around with them, you know. I looked up how to use the B-spline tool, Coreldraw, you know, and I watched this person's video, their method, this person's video, their method, you know, because you're not gonna learn that watching the Design Wizard videos.
Yeah.
So I like to watch Coreldraw videos by themselves without the Design Wizard to get a better understanding of Coreldraw, but I've never opened up Coreldraw without the Rhinestone Wizard because it has so many shortcuts in there that makes using Coreldraw a breeze.
Yeah, I've actually, what little I have used of Corel, I find myself using the wizard, even on the basic functions in some respects.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's easy for me to refer to. So.
And that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, real quick before we get off, a lot of people are intimidated by the wizard. When they see it, they're like, oh my God, it's so much stuff in here and I'm never going to be able to learn all this stuff. You got to break it down. So watch this. As you can see, the only thing that's changing is this middle section here.
Right.
This bottom row is tools that you need all the time.
Yep.
Like this one right here, group everything, ungroup everything.
Yep. I use those all the time. Yeah.
Yes. This section up here never changes. These three boxes will always be there.
Yep.
This replace all stones with the selected size chosen. That's kind of neat because say we select them all. We can change this here to SS6 stones.
Yep.
And then click this button right here. And now they're all SS6 stones.
Yeah.
Here. Do you know how to take a screenshot?
Yeah.
Okay.
You may do that on there. Okay.
All right. So, let me go back. Cancel. Right here, this little pen tool right here that lets you change your stone sizes. So click here, boom. I wanted you to take a screenshot because I've already did the work for you. Where you have the traditional SS6 size, which is 0.97, and whenever I use that one, it would seem like those stones, my SS6 stones from wherever I purchased them, did not want to fall into this hole here. I made it a little bigger, and I called it SS 6.2.
Yeah. Okay.
So you want to copy these values across into this area here, and then add it.
Okay.
Of course, I did there go the traditional SS10. I did a SS10.2, made it a little bigger, 0.133 inches, and then I just upped these values over here.
Okay.
And then I did a 0.138, and that's for Rhinestuds. Rhinestuds,
Okay.
because they have the metallic coating on them, they tend to be a little thicker than traditional SS10.
Okay. No, that's great to know.
So all my years and purchasing stones from here and there, I was frustrated at times because I'll cut out this whole
Yeah.
template, and then I got these new stones, these gold ones right here that have coating on them,
Uh-huh.
and they wouldn't fit. And I'm like, oh, that's because they got that coating on it. So once I started making my different sizes, I was like, yeah, let me start sharing this with others so that they can copy this and have those
Yeah.
sizes there if they want to use them. You will
Yeah, I
come
never
into a
even.
time where you're going to cut a board out. You're going to brush the stones in. 80% of them will fit in, and then maybe 20% of them, they're like, oh, these stones just won't go in. Either you can sit there and place them one by one into the template so you can pick them up, or you're going to be like, I'm doing 40 of these shirts. I'm not about to do this 40 times. Let me go in there and redo it and make the stone size a little bigger. That way, when you brush them in, they'll brush in easy like magic.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate all this. It was great. I'm excited to go play now.
Sure, for sure.
So, yeah. All right. I'm sure I'll be back in touch to join more courses, just to get more in-depth training as I go through, but thank you.
All right. Thank you too. I got one more thing to say.
Yeah.
So, the more and more classes that I do, I realize that when it comes to the class environment with 3 or more people, it's almost best if all 3 of them are beginners, because that way I can run through the total beginner with
Yep.
3 new people. Once I get into someone that has taken 4 or 5 one-on-ones and then they join the class, it's either they're joining the class for a refresher on the basics, or they they're helping me along. That's the student in the class that I'm calling on the most, to help me out, to say, here's one person who's taken a few trainings, and if she's able to get it, it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I think your one-on-one was probably more in depth than, because you were able to answer all my personal questions, whereas if I was in a group, it might not have been as easy. So
Right.
absolutely.
But as you get better, the
Mhm.
group classes with 3 or more people that are on your same level, those classes are fun, because now we have 3 or 4 people that are all excelling in the software, and they're trying to get from here to here, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it becomes a little more exciting and a little more engaging, because I don't have to go back and reiterate things from the beginner course.
Right. Absolutely. So, all right. Well, thank you again. I appreciate it.
Until we meet again, you have a
All right.
wonderful day.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Also, give me about an hour or so I can send you the link to the video.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Perfect. Sounds good. Bye-bye.